So I mean, obviously I don't like how my art videos are turning out since I don't have the appropriate equipment. Uh, you know, I've asked before, it was stated that I have enough to work with, so I mean, so be it. But I wanted to talk a bit more about shading, because I mean, that really wasn't much of an exercise, but looking at this little sketch that I did a while back, and although it was just a sketch, I decided to shade it in. Now this, I've drawn him before, but this is Vecna from Stranger Things. Now, obviously one side is shaded, the other side is not. Now, I guess when it comes to shading, something that I like to do is first get an outline. Now, I don't draw the full outline of whatever I'm trying to draw first. I'll draw maybe the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Because then it kind of gives me that sense of encouragement to start shading, start adding to it, and then once I see that it looks like the creation I'm trying to go for, then I'll start adding, the outline of the face, slowly yet surely. Once I have the outline down, I'll start to just kind of scribble shade. Now here you can kind of see it on the unfinished side. I just went over with a grade B pencil. You can use any grade pencil, but use a light grade pencil. So B or HB, you can use any of those two. And just go over the entire area, but don't press into the paper because you're going to leave indentations, and that's going to ruin your drawing whenever you blend all of your graphite together. Those lines will show up. So be careful with how you use your pencil. Me, I like to hold it where the point is actually on the side. So I don't have a pencil on me at the moment, but instead of drawing with the point hitting the paper, draw with the point kind of just off to the side. So that way you're only scribbling basically on the flat edge of the lead. So you're not getting any markings in your paper. Once you do that, you can use a makeup brush, like I stated before, to blend everything. Now, I like to go layer by layer when it comes to blending because I only use one pencil for my drawings. I know to use more pencils. I know to use higher grade pencils to get darker shades, like, grade 2B, 3B, 4B, so on, to get darker shades. That's fine. Me, I just like to challenge myself and use only one pencil. So, once you have your first layer down, you can blend it with a large makeup brush because you're just spreading the graphite all over the place. And then start picking out which areas are going to be darker and blend with a smaller makeup brush, because then it'll only spread all that graphite onto that area that's going to be darker. You don't want it to spread over the entire image because then it's going to be flat again and it's just going to be darker once more. So, here I have, a couple areas under the eyes for the unfinished side that are darker that I'm going to shade with or blend with a makeup brush, a smaller makeup brush. So, that's one way I blend. There are times where I don't blend at all. There are times where I'll use better quality paper. I mean, that paper is lighter and thinner. For higher quality paper, it's usually a bit heavier. I think the paper that I'm using, that I used for this drawing of Vecna, because I wanted to redo him. Actually, I'm going to take him out of the protective casing, because the protective casing has some sort of marking inside it. I don't know what from, but this drawing was done with no blending. This was done with only one pencil. Same principle applies though. I went over each area multiple times with my mechanical pencil. I used a 0.3mm mechanical pencil to get this one done. So this is Vecna that I drew a while back. Probably say I drew him about, well, I didn't date it, but I drew him about 2 years ago. And I think that was actually the third drawing I had done since 2019. I barely drew from 2016 on. 2019 I did like 1 or 2 drawings. And then 2022 I did this one. But you can see, you don't always need to blend. So if you want to practice shading and not blending, then you can also do that as well. Like this I did not blend at all. I only used one pencil. That was it. That was my only piece of equipment. I didn't use erasers, I didn't use makeup brushes, I didn't use anything. I actually freehanded this one, so I was surprised I got it to this point, because this was a redraw of a Vecna portrait I did in 2019, which turned out okay, but you know, it's bent a bit now, so I'm obviously not showing that, because you know, it's ruined now, but it's fine. You know, I'm not deeply attached to it. But you know, for those of you who are saying, oh, you need to blend to make your drawings look realistic, well, I mean, not really. It does help, it does. But like this one, that was no blending. This was just done with one pencil as well. This one probably took me maybe 20 to 30 hours in that range. And this was my first time actually experimenting drawing roots and dirt. And of course, you know, pumpkin texture. I guess another tip that I do apply whenever I draw skin or just rough textures, I kind of just scribble randomly. I don't have a clear direction where I'm shading, I just kind of scribble randomly, so sometimes when you look at my drawings, you'll see that there'll be just random lines here and there, but like they're all bunched together, but you'll still see them if you're up close. You know, I do that when it comes to drawing bark, I do that when it comes to drawing old skin. I'm still learning how to draw realistic skin, like hyperrealism level. I mean, I know the technique, but I'm trying to find if there's a way to do it a little bit faster. Not Speedy Gonzalez fast, but you know, you get my point. I guess the thing that I'm trying to get down as like the last step to bridging from photorealism to hyperrealism is patience, because I have a certain level of patience, but when it comes to drawing, when it comes to things that take hours and hours of time, my patience just is not there. So anyway, I thought I would add this on to the drawing video as far as shading goes. Practice doing layers. You know, even if you don't want to get super fine with your details, practice layering. Practice doing a light layer shading first, blend it if you want. Do a second layer where it's going to be darker. Again, you can either blend it or no. Find darker areas. You know, it's like a painting. Go with the lightest colors first so you can add the darker colors on top and you can start building your drawing layer by layer. I find that actually works for me. It actually makes the process a lot faster, especially if I blend. So instead of taking, you know, let's see, this, if I were to try and draw it without any blending, would probably take me twice the time. That half of the face that I drew probably took me only maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe 15 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes max. But it didn't take me that long. So I will probably finish that drawing maybe tonight. Don't know if I will record that one, because again, I am working with, you know, a pretty shitty tripod. It has a bendable arm, but you know, granted, the arm can't really support a heavy phone like an iPhone 8 and, you know, angle it down to watch me draw, because then I can't see the camera. So if anyone has advice as far as different types of equipment I could buy to help make better quality art videos, that would be great. Otherwise, I will see you guys later on. Bye.